Okay, folks, you should know by now that when the Band-Aid comes off, the truth comes out. And I want you to know I have plenty more of these in store. Okay, we're going to read a letter that was on Kol HaYudi this morning by a soldier, a commander. So that's like an officer. I'll call Menachem. Apparently he's probably in one of the religious units of the army, which I do commend the IDF for having units for soldiers, with Jewish values and Torah values. And I printed it out kind of small, so because I wanted it to be on one page. Ink is expensive in this country. Okay, so this is a letter by Menachem, an open letter about Mayor Ettinger from a soldier to the defense minister. The defense minister currently is Bogie Yalon. Now, my email calls him the defenseless minister, and I happen to agree. And I get it's very interesting how these like Bogie, Bougie, all these names that these people come up with in this country. It's like laughable. It's like a circus. I guess it's because it is a circus. So the clowns, need the names like Bozo. Okay, so this is the letter. Okay, so to Defense Minister Moshe Bogie Yalon. It was with great pain that I heard about your decision to lengthen the detention of Mayor Ettinger. At the same time, I was not surprised. The harassment of those who grow out their peyot, that's the side locks here, it is but one example of your anti-Jewish behavior. Harming Jews who live on the hilltops seems to give you great pleasure, Yalon. So, as I said, I did not expect you to act any differently. Nonetheless, I am left with a feeling of embarrassment. I am embarrassed that my grandfather and grandmother lived through the Holocaust with the dream of establishing Jewish sovereignty, that the day has come and that one of our own has decided to specifically target Jews. I am embarrassed for the generation upon generations who dreamed of returning to Zion and bringing about the redemption that you have decided to impede. I am also embarrassed for those whose blood has been spilled in Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, Gush Etzion, and throughout Israel, who now look down on us from heaven, I added that, at us, and fail to understand why instead of avenging their blood, you are sucking the blood of a Jew who has served the Jewish people his entire life. I am embarrassed for God, who, in case you didn't know, created you too, in whose Torah we read last week about the giving of the Torah to the Jewish people. The creator of the world did not suffice with taking us out of Egypt, but also demanded that we be his people. And the Midrash states that had we refused, he would have returned the world to chaos. This is a key concept, folks. You should look up that information. And yes, we are all embarrassed that the wicked are succeeding, and you in particular are returning the world to chaos. Sadly, you and your ilk are harassing those who wish to restore God's kingdom on earth. We are embarrassed to be citizens in a state that fails to maintain security and that thinks instead of fighting the enemy, it can arrest Jews for thought crimes. I'm adding this. Bogie alone, you are arresting people and holding people for thought crimes. Like your friend Carmi Gilon, the Shabak traitor. We are embarrassed that you and your friends constantly undermine our right to exist in this land and exist as a nation through your actions, and you are destroying once again the ruins of Jerusalem, which the visionaries of a Jewish state worked so hard to rebuild. You are destroying the work of those who understand why we came to the Holy Land, and more generally, why we came to this world. It is an embarrassment that a person like Meir, who even if you were to learn with him for many years, you would still likely not understand all of his Jewish teachings, is suffering at your hand. And so too is an embarrassment for me as I write these words to serve in the army with you as a commander. There are no doubt many other soldiers in whose name I write have lost morale as a result of your actions, for we do not want to sacrifice ourselves every day if at the end of the day we are not fighting our enemies but instead our brothers. From your words it sounds as though you want war. You want to fight is not one of the truth, but merely one that will maintain calm. And I'm going to do another video about this status quo thing, because this is what they talk about: status quo, status quo. That is Netanyahu's big, claim to fame right now. And it's an attempt to calm the winds of change, both inside and out, without any desire to move forward and make progress. Part of the war against Meir and his friends is clearly part of a war against Jewish solidarity and consciousness. I want to repeat that line. Part of the war against Meir David Ettinger, grandson of Rabbi Kahana, and his friends, is clearly part of a war against Jewish solidarity and consciousness. Yet on the other hand, perhaps, there is nothing to be embarrassed about. I can only be embarrassed for actions or people that I am associated with. You separate yourself from the Jewish people every day. Yes, you. Yes, you. Put the lives of your Jewish brothers in danger on the battlefield every day through insane restrictions on opening fire and more. You and the education minister prefer to continue transferring funds to terrorists of the PA while refusing to fund the yeshiva in Yitzhar, where they wear kippahs that are just a little too big for your liking. See, Naftali Bennett wears a kippah like this big, like the size of a lock. I call it a laka. See mine? Big, baby. Okay? Big. The time has come for you, who constantly claim that nothing can be done to stop Arab terror, to resign from your post. Rabbi Kahana said this, and he died in 1990, and he said this during the first Intifada, which was around during his lifetime. He said, if I was the defense minister, all you'd have to do is get the news out, and the Arabs would immediately stop. Immediately. So when Bogie alone shows the limp wrist, this is when the Arabs make room for those who fear God, who want what is best for you, even more than you do. Leave your post for the people who understand the difference between friends and foes. Let those who understand how to command and fight a war determine how the war will be fought. After all, your failures have shown that you lack such knowledge. You won't manage to break Meir and his friends like me. You'll never break me, ever. Because we have God on our side. They are Jews filled with joy, hope, and freedom. They are only strengthened when they see your miserable and pathetic attempts to erase the Torah of God, Torat HaMelech, the Torah of the King. Signed with a heavy heart, a heavy Jewish heart, Menachem. Okay, so at 9 minutes here, I'm going to speak a little bit about the commentary. I'm going to do a little commentary. You see, folks, one of the main globalist cards right now here in Israel is problem, reaction, solution. Okay? Problem, reaction, solution. It's called the Hegelian Dialectic, and you can look it up. What the state does is they create the problem. Okay? They create a problem. They, like Naftali Bennett, and I'm going to do an article. I'm going to catch another article here. Not in this video. I'm going to do another one where Naftali Bennett calls to double. Right now, we're in the middle of like the third Intifada. They've gone from ramming with cars. Now they stepped it up to knives, and now lately guns. Cars, knives, guns. They're stepping up the escalation. And what does a guy like Naftali Bennett do? He calls to bring in double the workers. Now, this is also a cluster, because he wants, really the workers not to be brought down. So he's saying double them, but, he's a slickster. But he's calling to double them. So say we did that. Say we doubled them. What we're doing is we're bringing the problem in. The government is bringing the problem in. They are causing the problem. The government is causing the problem. That's step one. Okay? Then step two is reaction. Any normal person will react when we see our neighbors stabbed, people that, these beautiful young girls stabbed, even, old men. It doesn't matter really, but, it's kind of pulls your heartstrings when you see, young girls in the prime of their life and young children like Adele Biton. And you can see on my wall here, I'll just show you, see my wall there, okay? These are all people that have been murdered, okay, by Jews. And I could fill the whole darn wall up. But I just, I don't want to, I don't know, every once in a while add a new Jew, but I literally could fill all of the walls of my house up. I would wallpaper the walls with the pictures of dead Jews. So, I carry people like that in my heart because any normal person would. So that's reaction. That's phase two. Step two is we react, okay? But most of the people react and they go, help us, and then solution, help us, help us. And the government comes in as the white knights, as the solution. And see, this, I know about this. I understand this. I say, no, government, don't come in. Just like the Kahana family, like Rav Kahana and then Benjamin called for the area where I live, Judea and Samaria, to be states inside the Union of Israel. Almost like in the United States, we have 50 states. Not 57, Barack Obama. I know you think we have 57, and I can pull up that video. You guys might want to actually pull up 57 states, Barack Obama. Guys, clueless. We have 50 states, 48 in the continent, and then Alaska and Hawaii. Okay? 50 states. So why not in Israel have, Israel, and then states, Judea, Samaria, hey, even the Negev, someday the Sinai, up to the Litani River, we could have states everywhere. And then being part of a union, which is something I also want to get into at a later point, is a little bit of a restructure of the government here. Even in a democracy, a democratic restructure. And I'll just give you guys a hint. Two houses, just like in England, which our system is really based upon as a parliamentary type system. They have two houses. Houses of the commoners, I believe House of the Lords. I don't really know, a ton about England, but I know House of Lords, so I imagine the other house is like House of Commoners or something. And then America, I know pretty well, Senate and Congress. So that's what Israel basically needs. We need people that are responsible for the system. But that being said, the solution is not the government. So people, please wake up to the fact this problem reaction solution is being used against us. This Hegelian dialectic is being used against us. And we must have a solution, but it's a solution that we the people, I love that phrase from the Constitution. We the people, okay, have to have the solution. A real solution, a Jewish solution, a Torah value solution, a solution based, on Jewish ideals and principles. Okay? And Numbers 33, this verse, and go, grab open your Torah, people, grab open your Bible, and read that, Numbers 33:55. Okay, 33:55 in Numbers. Lays it out in literally one sentence of exactly what we must do. And even in Joshua's time, we failed to do it. And literally, the beginning was the beginning of the end because of this failure. So I call upon my everyone here that listens to this video, that if Mayor Ettinger, I know this video will be up on YouTube for a long time, but if Mayor Ettinger is still in jail now, this video I'm doing is in February of 2016. So they're saying Mayor could be in jail until June of 2016. So please send faxes, email. Now you can email all the Knesset members. Email them. Just go to the Knesset website. You can find out their contact information. I'll even put it down below. Contact on the Knesset. And, contact these people and tell them that this is ridiculous. This kid did nothing. No charges. Did nothing. Even they try to pin the Duma stuff on a Jew. Jews did not do it. But Mayor was under house arrest in Spot when that happened. I mean, what did he do? Fly on, Muhammad lent him his magic carpet and he did a donkey ride down to Duma. I mean, come on, people, this is ridiculous. So please, we all need to get together, and we all need to prevent this from continuing.